What's happening, guys? Chris, VA Travels. I'm about to visit the John J. Wright Educational and Cultural Center Museum, founded in 2010. And I'm just going to take a walk around, read some of these plaques, and then go inside it and take a look at the museum. And yeah, I'm still detoxing from my big Natchez trip, so I'm trying to knock out a few museums. Alright guys, checking out some of these plaques. And just to kind of give you the brief history, back in 1905, an African-American Sunday school union was formed. Representatives from 12 different just kind of local black churches. And it was led by John J. Wright. They proposed to have a black school built. 1910, land was purchased. 1913, a building was built. And at the time it was called the Snell Training Facility. We're about a mile north of Snell. It's a little intersection down there. We're a couple miles south of Spotsylvania Courthouse, to give you an idea of where we're at. So yeah, in 1913, the building was built by a guy named Alfred Fairchild. And fast forward to 1940, they renamed it John J. Wright. A year later, 1941, it burned down, rebuilt in 1952. Then in 1968, segregation ended. Isn't that crazy? 1968, when my father was in school, there was segregation. Oh, it becomes a middle school at that point. The black students went to the big high school, which is at the Spotsylvania Courthouse. Then 2006, it shuts down. 2009, it reopens as a educational and cultural center. And yeah, so here we go. Founded 1905 by John J. Wright. Rebuilt 1950, but 1952, I had read it actually reopened. So, all right, go in and check out this museum. I'm trying not to hit the spin button. All my cameras off, and a couple people have complained it kind of bothers them having it whip around, so I'm trying to do the best I can. And yeah, I totally feel like I'm in high school again, walking through these hallways. So here we are. Major League Learning, John J. Wright. John J. Wright Museum to the left. And yeah, old school lockers. Spotsylvania schools. All right, so Massaponax School, Piney Branch. Some of these I've never heard of. So, yeah, that's pretty neat. And, yeah, this is it right here, so. Cool, alright, yeah, I'm going to do a walk around there. Nice enough to let me film, and just let you know it's free to come in and look around, so. Yeah, and a lot of neat items, obviously from the old school. Article from the Freelance Star over there, a little girl writing. And that's pretty neat. Drawing lines. I think I remember that from my elementary school days. So, pretty neat items. Pretty neat chair. And this is the class of 1941, the last class before the original school burned down. And like I say, a lot of information along this wall, just going through the history of the school, what I've already talked about. 1905, when the members of the black churches got together, led by John J. Wright. And yeah, that group of 12 churches. And yeah, Plessy versus Ferguson, yeah, pretty crazy. That's what started the whole separate but equal. And what a colored man should be in the green book here. I'll flip through that, and that's for black travelers, just to let them know what black hotels, restaurants were in certain towns. I'll flip through, and there's a couple Fredericksburg hotels in there. I remember right off Princess Anne Street by the old Bunbury taxi station, if anybody knows, near Lafayette Boulevard. Can't remember the names of the hotels. And W. Du Bois and Booker T. Washington. Booker T. Washington, I visited his birthplace if you want to check out that video. But two contrasting styles. Booker T. Washington was a Southerner who was a former slave. Booker T. Washington was from up north, and he was really big for pushing protest, political change, where Booker T. Washington was more for, he knew that Southern slaves hadn't been educated, so he was step one, get everybody educated. So W.B. Du Bois kind of thought he was an Uncle Tom, that he was being a sellout, and Booker T. Washington would say, hey, you know, you're not practical. Step one, let's get everybody educated, kind of up to par, and that's the best way to move everything forward. So, breaking ground. Oh, and these are some of the local African American schools. As always, yeah, pause and read. And yeah, up here a little timeline. Like I say, it was originally the Snell Training School, 1913, 1914. It was built, and 1873, public education established as segregated one-room schools. But right after the Civil War, I know the Freedmen's Bureau started some, and some kind of, maybe the bigger cities had kind of like black schools. And some castor oil, Coleman's mustard. Pretty interesting items. Oh, there he is, John J. Wright, painting. And he was born Blanton's Farm in Massaponax, Virginia. And yeah, his daughter Jenny. Oh, and he was married to Louisa Alsop, and Alsop is a big family in Fredericksburg and Spotsylvania. They were, I believe they were Fredericksburg's richest citizens at one time. They had a house off of Princess Anne Street, 1200 block. I have a video on that if you want to check it out, 1200 block of Princess Anne Street. And, oh, she married second wife right here, L. Jackson Wright. Again, going through the Sunday schools. They got together in 1905, 12 African American Baptist churches. And here are a few of them. Yeah, oh, there he is, the guy who actually built that, built the original school. Alley program from 1927. Sadie Johnson, 42-year career in education. Okay, Spotsylvania Training School. Great Depression, Spotsylvania Training School. Oh, here's an old daily attendance log, and it looks like a maybe a report card to the right. I see some A's and B's. Yeah, 9th grade report card. Okay, there's a class of 1941. That's actually a pretty clear picture. They might have kind of doctored it up and cleaned it up. Charles Snow, attendance 1945, instrumental support of building the new, when it burned down, like I said, 1941. So they had to raise money. New school opened 1952. Yeah, it talks about that fire, like I say. Snell Negro School. Graduated Hampton University, Cornell University. And groundbreaking, 1950. Yeah, groundbreaking, and it was occupied, opened back up 1952. Sorry guys, I know I'm yapping a lot. I'll try to calm it down. But Mason's Bible right there. Desegregation. Yeah, Brown Bros. The Board of Education. And yeah, Southern states resisted. Virginia was one of them. I believe the Virginia public schools closed for a year or two. And yeah, they were led by this Harry Byrd, West Virginia senator. He was actually a Ku Klux Klan member. Isn't that crazy? Yeah, resistance. And consolidated school. The integration of John J. Wright, 1953. Sadie Combs Johnson. Alright, so a couple of graduating classes right here. Snell class of 54. Yeah, the consolidated school, and that prepped students to become professionals, go off to college, military service. And right here, Connie Braxton, she graduated from the consolidated school in 1958. Baton football, small football. That glare's hitting me. And yeah, some old kind of stereotypical images that kind of like Mammy from the Gone with the Wind that they've kind of gotten. Oh, they're all Aunt Jemima, Uncle Ben's rice. Some bus drivers, old keys, a little stamp Wetner. Okay, this William Poindexter, the field out back is named after him. Okay. Still we rise. And okay, so 1968 was full-on integration, but before that, a few students were kind of brought over. The application to school, and yeah, became a middle school, as I had said, after integration, after 1968. And then 2006, that ended. And then 2009, it kind of became the Educational Center and Cultural Museum. So, kind of cut across, look at some neat items over here. And some students, some old locks, and a laundry plunger. A ladle. An old iron, that's kind of neat. Put some coals or something in there to warm it up. And this is the Stubb School. And yeah, still calling it the Snell School. John J. Wright. Oh, Snell, Virginia. Okay. A mosaic over here. And it's just kind of going through the protest in the early 1960s. In Greenville, South Carolina. And these are some of the students that came before segregation. Like I said, there were 7 of them starting in 1963. And living in this area for 20-some years, I recognize some of these names. Pendleton. Okay, yeah, 7 girls and a big something. 7 African girls in Spotsylvania schools, 1963. Old dinner bell right there, a horse bit, old cotton scale. Sprayer. Some more old irons. Over here is the Good Hope School. Alright guys, that's my little walk around of the John J. Wright Education and Cultural Museum. Pretty cool, it's free, come check it out. As always, like and subscribe. You can follow me on Instagram and support me on Patreon. See ya.